there's a jet ski. So it doesn't appear like there's anybody here right now. But it is my first live, so I'm not surprised. Hopefully we get one or two in. I haven't actually cast yet. Baits are ready to go. That's a bit bright, isn't it? Hello Martin, glad you could join us. Hello, yeah we're live now, that's good, we've got people. Welcome to my first ever live stream. Scary, a little bit scary, so bear with me. The rods are baited up, I haven't cast them out yet, so I'm just going to nip down the beach, chuck these 2 rods out, then I'll come back and tell you what I'm doing. Back in a second. Fishing. I'm back. So 2 rods out at the moment. The right hand rod I've got double sand eel on. And that's got a gripper on, so that's holding. The other one's just got a bit of black mud lugworm and some squid. And I've put that on just a rolling lead, just to see what the current's doing, see if I can get it to search out a bit of water. But that seems to be racing along at the moment. Can you hear me okay? I've got a microphone plugged in and I'm wondering if the sound is alright. Can someone tell me if you can actually hear me? This is proper weird. It's cool though. Do we have sound? Sounds good, fantastic, thank you. Wonderful. So yeah, out fishing. Don't get out fishing much these days, so it's good to be out. And I've been watching a lot of live streams just lately and I'm quite addicted to them. I think they're great. I think if you can't get out fishing, the next best thing is just sit and watch someone else's rods. I've got bells on, so I haven't got to concentrate too much. Fantastic, thank you Martin. Yeah, so I've got some squid. I've got a little bit of squid, probably 3 or 4 squids, but that's mostly just for tipping off. I've got some sand eel, which I'm going to fish double sand eels, hopefully for a ray. I've got a wrap of black lug, and I've also got a few little fresh blow lug as well. It's a lovely evening. It's been overcast this afternoon. The weather forecast said it was going to be sunny all day and a clear night, but it's been overcast for the afternoon. There's quite a bit of a breeze coming from right to left along the beach, and it's still overcast, but we're not due to have any rain, so we should be alright. I just had to make sure that I had everything set up properly, like the light. I've got a charger so that my phone shouldn't go dead. I have got another light should I need it, and I've got another light down there shining up on the rods. And at the moment it looks like, from my end, you can see everything you need to see, so that's good. Hopefully we can get 1 or 2 fish, that'd be good. I'm also using the front facing camera, so that way I can actually see the chat. My danger is that the camera on the front isn't as good as the camera on the back, but I still think it's good enough. It seems alright. I think we're good. I think all systems go. I am building a new battery box. The battery's turned up. I'm waiting for the box to arrive, and then some accessories that I can fit into it, so that I can plug the phone. So if we do long streams, then nothing should die. We should have enough power for all the lights, the phone, and all the bits and pieces that go with it. Like I say, first live stream, don't really know what I'm doing, but we're going to give it a go. So the idea is to fish for a couple of hours this evening. It's 7 o'clock I think now, and high tide's at 10, so I want to fish to high tide. So get a little 3-hour stream in and just see how it goes, see how the land lies. 3 people have hit the like button, that's brilliant. From what I can gather, the like button is good and chat is good. That way I know I'm not just looking at myself and having a chat with myself and going crazy. That left hand rod with a rolling lead on, it looks like it's just bouncing down the beach at the moment, so I think when that comes in I will put a gripper on. I've got one ready to go. I think it's a 5 ounce, isn't it, the yellow one? That's what I usually use on them rods. So yeah, chill time. There's only one thing I forgot. Anybody that knows me will know that I'm famous for forgetting stuff. And I had a really good idea to make a nice flask of coffee so I could have a hot drink. And I've just realised that I didn't make it. But I do have a bottle of water, so I have actually got something. I haven't actually been fishing for a while. Came down here a couple of weeks ago with Lee during the day. We had to go in the surf for the mullet. Hello mate, Anthony, yeah, good to see you mate. And we were fishing with little maddies in the surf, and I did catch a golden grey mullet, which was really cool. And there was some bream around. Apparently there's quite a few bream around at the moment, but I'm fishing fairly big hooks and fairly big baits. I kind of tend to do when I come down there. If it gets a bit tricky and I'm not getting any bites, then I will switch over to a rig, just a flapper, or maybe even just a running ledger with 2 small size 2s on, little bits and pieces of bait. We'll see if we can just catch something. Hello John, nice to see you in chat. We're doing good mate, we're live, we're actually doing it. I've been thinking about this for a while and thought I'd take the plunge, and here we are. Hello Alan, alright mate, good to see you here. Yeah, we're live mate, we've been live for nearly 10 minutes now, and there's people still here. They're not bored of me just yet, so that is fantastic. I promise you that I won't start singing. I've just got to keep an eye out for the foxes, or the filberts, as our Will calls them. Because if you're not looking, they will creep up on you and nick your bait. And I haven't got loads of bait. I've got a packet of sand eel, 3 or 4 squid, wrap of black lug, and a little bit of fresh lug. And I think I might have a bit of bluey in there as well. So as I say, a little short stream. See if we can catch a fish and see if we can get this going, and then I can perfect it. There's a few bits and pieces that I want to help out with the... I've got 2 tripods here at the moment, and it's not ideal. Good. That's good that you're breathing. Good. Yeah, thanks Mark. Appreciate that, mate. Let's hope I do catch something. That would be good to show you a fishy. Yeah, I've seen a cradle thing that you can put your phone in, and then your microphone and your light and everything fits on top of it, so you only need the one tripod. So I think I'm going to go down that route as and when I can get one ordered. But in the meantime, we're making do and we're getting by. It's really funny, I was driving down here in the car, and I just remembered when I was like 12, 13, and I used to walk around the Hillsey Creek to do my fishing when I was little. Sometimes when I was all on my own, I'd pretend there was a fishing program, and I'd like start presenting to nobody while I was fishing. It's just things you do when you're a kid. And yeah, this is weird. I just thought I'm going to be like doing it to live people for the first time, like 40 years later. It's mad. "17 people in the chat, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope it's not too boring." That's what I thought. I thought these live streams would be boring, sort of you sit there watching someone's rods and hope that they catch a fish. But there's, you lot can have a chat amongst yourselves. We can have a little bit of a chat, talk to you about what I'm doing, what I've been up to, what plans I've got. Whereabouts am I fishing? I'm down Eastney at the moment, Eastney Beach, sort of towards the nudist beach, but not that far down. I have got the understanding that when you're doing these live streams, it's not a brilliant thing to give the exact location of where you are, in case you upset anybody and they want to come down with a hammer and sort your face out, sort of thing, you know. But yeah, Eastney way. Bit of exciting news as well. In the last week, I picked myself up a little Honda engine. Cheers, Andy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got a little 2.3 horsepower Honda, 4-stroke. Really, really nice condition to go on my little 2.5 metre sib. So once we get all this cradle and everything, maybe we can do some live streams out on the sib, fishing out in the harbour. Because up to now I've been out rowing everywhere because I've had no engine and I haven't been able to go too far, obviously. But now I've got a little engine. The world is our oyster. Tide's still fairly low at the moment. We've got about 2 3/4 hours, I think, till high. I've got bells on the rods, so we'll soon hear if we do get a bite. It's not cold. I have got a jacket to put on if I do get cold, but I think the hat makes a world of difference. You lose a lot of heat through your head apparently, so always got a hat on. Yeah, I've come down here a couple of... What fish are you attempting to catch? Well, on the right hand rod I've got a double sand eel one, so ideally I'd like to catch a ray on that rod. But chances are I could catch a small conger eel, I could catch a dogfish, a bass could pick that up. But yeah, hoping to get a ray on that one. The other one, black lugworm and tipped off with squid on a size 1. Anything really that swims, to be fair. It's not tiny, so I'm not scratching around for bream or anything like that, but it's a substantial hook, really. Is it a 1 or a 1.0? It might be a 1.0 actually. Maybe a flounder or a sole might pick that up. Will you take it home to eat it? No. I don't usually take fish home to eat. And my little boy, James, hates the thought of me hurting anything. So they've all got to go back. I caught a lovely bass when I was out in the Sib with him a few weeks ago. And I said, oh, Nanny's going to be so pleased. She can have that one for tea. Oh, no, you don't. He said, let's go on back in. Back to its family. I said, yeah, okay, no problem. I'm also going to bring a little unhooking mat or a piece of foam or something to put my knees on. Because my knees on the shingle all night, everything all things. I've been sea fishing in about a month. Last time for sailors, mainly bream. Yeah, apparently there's still loads of bream about. I've been watching a few live streams of people out in the boats, just out in the Solent, and there's still loads of bream around. The catch and release kid. That's right. Hello, Daz. You alright, mate? Good to see you. How's the lure fishing for bass going? You're doing alright at that, aren't you? I'll have to tag along with you one time. Sunday evening. Yeah, they're lovely. £6.7 bass. Wow. That's a good fish. Congratulations. £6. I think 5 1/4 is my best, and I've been fishing for 30 years. 35 years. Wow, it's a long time, isn't it? I thought I had a little jingle, but a lady's walking her dog along the beach, and I think her dog had bells on its collar, so I got all excited. Yeah, no such luck. No, we'll be alright. It's early in the tide. We're doing it. We're out. I come down here a couple of times recently with James. We went down by the rowing club, and I caught loads of weed. There was just so much weed around at that time. We had a lovely time looking around in the rock pools and that, because we got down there at low tide. But not been out for 2 weeks. COVID. Oh, there's loads of COVID about, mate. My mum's got it at the moment. Catch a flounder. What's one of those? More chance of catching a unicorn. Yeah, flounders. But I watched Will, local Mark's Fishing, do one of his live streams out in the harbour. And as he was coming in to shore, just in the shallows, he had his light. He saw it lamping, and 4 flounders he saw, and managed to scoop up in his landing net. It's crazy. If I do miss anyone's messages, I do apologise. Like I said, first time, I've noticed that they come up on there for about 5 or 10 seconds, and then they disappear. So if I'm waffling, there's a good chance I might miss one. So apologies. Obviously, I've seen live streams, so when you're watching, you can see probably the last 8 or 10 chats, but I can't. I can see like the most current 3. I'm wondering if I did this on an iPad, a tablet, it might be bigger, obviously, and I might be able to see more chat messages. Yeah, I'll just have to. Maybe there's something in the settings that will allow me to do that. Do you know what? I'm kneeling on my knees, and I can feel my feet going numb. I went sea fishing once, but it was cancelled due to rough weather, so I spent the weekend getting drunk. Yeah, it's a good substitute, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not very good on the sea. I am really good at being seasick. Really good. The amount of charter boat trips that I've done in the past, and I've been out there, Nab Tower, cod fishing, middle of winter, and I've been curled up like a little ball in the cabin after having thrown up my lunch, my breakfast, yesterday's lunch and breakfast. Yeah, it's got to be flat calm if I go out in the boat. It's a bit weird. If I go out in my sieve, I don't seem to feel... I haven't been out really where it's been rough, but I think it's the same as driving. I'm a crap passenger. If I'm sitting in the back on a long journey, I'm going to be ill. But if I'm driving, I can drive for 10, 12 hours and not feel slits. Because I'm the one in control and I'm the one driving, I think that's when you don't feel ill. And I think that's the same with the boat. Right, I'm just going to have a look at that left-hand rod now. The one that's probably washed up on the beach further down to my left. And if needs be, I will put a gripper on it. So hang loose, I'll be back in the deuce. Well, the good news is that there ain't a lot of weed out there. There's another light there. I think what I need to do is angle that down so I can see what I'm doing when I bait up. And then, wow, looks like I've had my ready brake. Do you remember that advert? The little kid would have his ready brake on the way to school, and when he left the house he'd be glowing. So the squid had gone, but the black lug's still there. Which probably means the black lug's rubbish and the squid's really good. So I'm going to put another fresh bit of squid on. But the good news is no weed on that one. So that's fab. I'm going to put that down like that. Can you? Yeah, I should still be able to hear me because that microphone's a pretty good one. And if I put that light back on, sorry guys, all trial and error at the moment. That seems to be alright. Got a floodlight there on the rods. Whoa, freaking out, man. Wow, that's pretty cool, isn't it? How bright is that? That is as bright as you know. Turn that down a little bit, I think, just to see that rod's in. I'm going to get like a bit more of an industrial floodlight so the whole like rods are lit up and it'll be better. Right, I think, what am I going to do? Am I going to put a gripper on or not? It wasn't that far down the beach, so I don't know if I need a gripper. But what I have got is a black lug and a bit of squid in a size 1. So I think I'm going to fling that out just in the surf and see if there's a flatty or something mooching. I'll be back. Here we go, they're out there. Ooh. Yeah, I've got the bells on. The bells. Wicked. Always the best intentions. I thought I was going to do a little overhead log just out into the surf, see if there's anything following the beach up. And when I get down there, I'll get all excited and give it some. Almost get snagged up on Ride Pier. Ridiculous. I'm going to do quite a bit on the beach this winter. See if we can get a codling. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I think Chesil's the place to go for the codling. Quack! Yeah! What rods and reels are you using? Right, so I've got a quack. Remember that? That's when we were carp fishing. I think it was Dryad when there was a few of us carp fishing and we had a rotog laugh. Fantastic. Yeah, so I've got 10 Raft surf casts, 14-foot rods, which are nice. They're 3-piece rods, and I think 3-piece rods, they're just nicer at them longer lengths to transport and everything. And the reels I've got are Akios fire loops, and they're really nice casting reels. Nice long spools on them. Nice shallow spools as well, so you haven't got to put 700 yards of line on them. I think I've got like probably about 280 metres of something. What is it? I've got it here. It's called Asso Hard Skin, £16. Asso Hard Skin, £16. Yeah, that is really nice mainline actually. Yeah, so what we're thinking is have a look at a little rig to do some scratching. about 19 settings on this headlamp, and it makes it take about 20 minutes to turn it off. I've got some old rig down there, before the lead doctor one. I think this one looks like it's been smashed to pieces by a conga. There's the original one. There it is. So that is another sand hill rig ready to go out if that one happens to get fouled up. I didn't put my glasses on, that's why I can't see. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. The danger of me sitting here talking to myself for the next 3 hours is past, I think, and that's good. So thanks. See, that's a place rig. I don't really want a place rig. I'm the worst in the world for rigs as well. In as much as I don't make them. I'm lazy. I'll get down the beach and I think, right, what do I need? And then I'll start thinking about what rigs I'm going to need. And that's not the way to do it. I could be a lot more organised. I could be a lot more organised and sit at home one afternoon and make some rigs, and it would be so much better for me to get down there and just stick straight out. But no, I've got to do it the hard way. Look, that's got quite like snoods on that one. But this is the rig that I used for the mullet fishing down here the other day. But they're tiny hooks there. I don't know if you can see those. Those are like really little. If I put them out with little thin slivers of squid on, I reckon I could catch a worm. Should we do that just to catch a fish? Yeah, why not? Why not? A couple of really nice thin slivers of squid. When I used to match fish off the beach back in the day, I used to sit at home cutting all the little strips of squid like that. The little tiny thin strips of squid, I just cut them all and freeze them so that when I got to the match they were just there ready to go. I was so organised. I don't know what happened to me. I think I got old and had children. Yeah, that's going to catch fish, that is. It might not be the biggest fish in the sea, but it'll be a fish to show you. And I'm going to stick it on that left down rod, one that's got the squid and the black lug on. Sod's law though, I was watching the South Coast Angler the other night out in the Solent. There were 2 rods out with massive baits on, and he had a little rod with little hooks, little baits, light line, fishing for the bream, and he had a 9 pound smooth out on it. It took him forever to wind it in, but it was good entertainment. With the sand eels, I've found that it's like all or nothing. A bit like when you're fishing with our back crabs for the smooth arms. You know that not much else is going to take it, so it's going to have to be a ray. Really. You will get some other stuff on it, but yeah, with the sand eels, I've found myself wind them in, put another couple on, wind them in, put another couple on, and you might catch one. Whereas if I put a bit of squid on or a bit of mackerel, I could catch anything, really. But it would be nice to catch a ray. And going by the last few years, it's been this sort of time of year when the rays show up. Or at least when I've had rays down here. And mostly undulates and thornbacks. Come down with Mark Williams one night and had a 13.6 undulate first cast. Talk about jamming. I'm not staring you out, I promise. I'm just waiting for chat to pop up so I can respond to it. I hate the thought of missing it because I'm just waffling and not paying attention. Yeah, it's bright enough. And you can see the rod tips. So I think they're alright. sussing everything out, adjusting. Didn't bring any snacks or anything with me. Had a nice dinner. I made a nice cottage pie yesterday. And whenever I do a big cottage pie, there's always enough for the next day. So all I had to do was warm it up, do some fresh veg. And I made sure that I had a lovely big dinner before I come out. That way I don't need to be snacking and picking up sandwiches with squiddle over my hands and stuff. It's not the best. We've been going half an hour. I think that's a bit of a success, don't you? No bites as yet. Talk Flapper go to. Whereabouts you fishing tonight? Down at Eastney Beach. I'm just past the. I'm probably in between the coffee cup and the swimming pool. I'm a little bit lazy, you see. Just there's a little bit of a ramp, and then there's a bit of like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a disabled path that goes along the beach for some way. It's like rubber matting, and it's easy to pull me trolley along. Yeah. This one's baited, and I'm itching to get it out with these little strips of squid on, just to see if we can get a fish. Little strips of squid on there. I've got some little blow lug as well. I can put some little bits of blow lug on. Got to get these lights sorted out. When I stop still, it's alright. As soon as I move, that's when the lights like ding. But if I keep still, it's all calm. I'm going to turn my head, isn't it? That's when it's the lights are open. But the lights are shining down, so it shouldn't be that bad. There's a little bit of waviness out there. There's a few waves crashing on the beach. I love the sound of that. I love seeing the ferries going by, all lit up. It's just a lovely place to be at night. But when there used to be nightclubs down in Southsea, at 2 o'clock when the nightclubs used to chuck out, and you get people coming down the beach, that wasn't the time to be down there fishing, let me tell you. Cool, what do you think, mate? How long are you staying for? I'm probably. Is there anyone else down there? I did see one angler, probably about 400 yards down that way towards the nudist beach. I'm going to be here until about. I'm going to stay till high tide, so I'm going to stay till at least 10 o'clock. Depending on how much punishment I take, as to whether I stay any longer than that. If we can catch a couple of fish, then we can stay. It's still fairly early in the tide. I've said that about 6 times now, but it is. A couple of hours, maybe an hour before high water seems to be the best time up here, and right on the top of the tide. A few weeks back I was fishing by the slip Bath Street and checked out the smooth hound off the rocks, about £5. Yeah, nice. There's definitely still smooth hounds around. Definitely smooth hounds about. I'd say they had, they was out in the Solitude yesterday, and they had a few. So there's every chance we could pick one of them up tonight. But I'm going to hope it's not on one of these, because that's £8 snoods and size 8 hooks. So we don't want anything too humongous on that. But I think what I'm going to do is wind in that left hand rod, stick that rig on, and see if we can get a bream or something, just so that we've got a fish and we save the blank. First live stream's a blank. Don't want that, do we? No, we don't. My feet have gone numb again. Right. Well, nothing on that. I mean, it wasn't out there very long, granted. I'm just itching to get that small rig out. But even the squid was intact on that one. So I thought what I'll do, I'm going to pop that lead off, because I'm going to use that rolling lead still. All the time there's not too much tide out there. And let these little strips of squid roll about a little bit. Cover a bit of ground. And see if they can do the business for me. 16 likes, fantastic guys. Thank you so much for making it all worthwhile. I had faith in you anyway, dude. Right, so, a little rig. Hello Singy, good to see you mate. 17, yeah, well done mate, thank you so much. I'm just going to get this little rig out. I've got a little scratching rig now mate. 8 pound snoods, little size 8 hooks, little strips of squid, just to see if we can catch a fish to save the blank. Get that one out of the way early, and then we can concentrate on catching something a bit substantial. Oh, the gurnard's still about, definitely, yeah, definitely gurnard's still about. They're definitely getting them out in boats, that's for sure. Right, I'll be back. I'll be back! And we're back. Oh man. Yeah, I think I need a little, I've got a little chair. Take it camping and fishing when I take the kids. Take a little, like the old Lafuma low chairs, but it's a modern one I got from Tesco's. But it's ideal, it's just off the ground. And I think it'd be ideal for me just to sit in, take the weight off my back and my knees while I'm doing this sort of learning curve. Yeah, this battery box that I'm building, I've got the idea from a few other people. Will uses one on Local Marks Fishing, and he sent me a link to a guy. Hey mate, good to see you live. Good luck. Thanks Dan. Cheers mate. Thank you. Dad went boat fishing 8 years ago. 4 people were seasick. I had to skip the go back to shore. You've got another 8 hours. Oh no mate. Honestly, I think I must have been about 15 or 16, and I went to Cornwall with my mum and dad on holiday. We went out mackerel fishing out in a boat. And we were only out there 5 minutes, and my dad started being sick, but he was on the wrong side of the boat, so the sick sprayed everyone on the other side of the boat, which made them sick. So everyone's being sick, including myself. My mum was the only person that wasn't sick, and she was the only person that caught mackerel as well. Crazy. Yeah, so this battery box is like a plastic ammo box, ammo crate thing. I'll take this cut fishing chair when I'm down the beach. Yeah, not a bad idea actually. Bit more to carry. Depends how far you've got to trudge. It's one of them, isn't it? I can't get up out of them chairs these days. I have to roll out, get on your hands and knees, and then find yourself to your feet. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you, 100%. Plastic ammo crate with a motorcycle battery in it, rigged up to some little USB charging ports, sort of fixed into the top. I'm going to fit a couple of LEDs in there as well, so I can have a bit of a light coming out, like, so that I can light myself up while I'm having a bit of a thing. Good luck young man, catch a big one. Yes, thanks mate, thank you, good to see you. Hopefully we can catch a big one. Even if we can catch a small one, we'll be happy. Yes, I think once the battery's arrived. It's a 12 volt 20 hour battery. It's quite a chunky one and it's heavy, but once it's sat down with all of the bits plugged into it, I think it'll be a godsend. Do you know what? I've got a Team Dyer receipt box right there. And I think if I'd spent a little bit more time setting the stream up, then I've got the tripod down at the moment, so I've got to kneel down for it to see me. I think if I had the tripod higher, I could have the box out here and I could be sitting on the box out in the chat. So I'm not going to ponce about with it now. I'm going to make do. But I was fishing down here a couple of weeks ago with my mate Lee, and he's got the breakaway conversion on his box, and it looked like a good bit of kit. So that might be the way forward. Then I'm not having to carry something extra. It's really eerie because it's overcast and there's a lot of cloud around. Over in the town, from the light pollution, it's all white. It looks really eerie. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. What I should be doing right now is baiting up another rig, ready to go straight out as soon as I wind that one in, like we used to do in the matches, right? But, do you know what? I'm so paranoid of having a baited rig hanging with dogs and stuff wandering up. Massive phobia for that I've got. So what could we do on this one? Something a little bit different, eh? Let's try a set. Are we going to stick with double sandal? We do want to catch a ray, don't we? I think I'll stick with double sandal. I'm going to cut them tails off, and that releases a bit of blood. And I've got my double Mark Williams special. He made this for me. Baiting needle. You put a sand eel on each needle, and then you wrap them together. It stops them from spinning. And then you put the hook in, lay it down flat, and then wrap it and slide it off. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to go in through the tail. Yeah, this would give us something to do while we're waiting for a tippy-tappy. I shouldn't say tippy-tappy, it's not my trademark, it's Will's. But because I've been watching a lot of his streams lately, it's kind of embedded in my head. So yeah, 2 sand eels, side by side. Bit of elastic, if we can find it. There it is. These are good, these little dispensers. You've probably all got these. Yeah. Get myself at it. I've got bells in my box. Every time I rummage through the box, I hear one of the bells ring. I'm like, so 2 sand eels binded together. Can you see that tail end where I took the tail? No, that's the head end actually. There's blood coming out of the head end. We're good. I might freshen this bait up in a minute because all that blood coming out is lovely, but it only comes out for a while. So what I can do is stick that hook through that elastic, get that hook coming out like that, nice and proud, and then bind that on. And that is Gert Lash, that's the one. And as I'm wrapping it down through the belly, all the guts are coming out, dripping and oozing. And I think that first 20 minutes, half an hour in the water, that's the one. I think when it's been out there a bit longer than that, get it in, slide that off, and that there, I think you'll agree, is a lovely bait, lovely proud hook. I'll eat it. So I'm going to wind that one in and freshen it up. I'll be back. Oh, I better put the lid on ready. Incidentally, the rig that I'm using is a really short up and over, because with an up and over you have twice the length of the rig body as your snood. So that goes up into the little hangover clip, down into the lead, and then that is a fairly short rig. probably about 14 inches, but it's about 28 inches once it releases and it's out there, and I think that's more than long enough to get us a fish. Yeah, there's that. I'll be back. Any bites on the other rod? So we'll take that off. Put that straight on. Get that back out. That sand eel definitely been chewed up. But there might have been crabs. Quite a few spiders around at the moment. So and we're back. Very quiet on the rods. What I'll do, I think I'll cut up a couple more bits of squid for that little rig rod. I've got a couple of bits of blow lug here, I might try a bit of that one there. Only tiny little blow lugs, but they're ideal on them small hooks. Yeah, we'll give that a go. I'd like to catch a sole. Never caught a sole before. No. Oh, it looks like it might have been buffering. Signal should be pretty good, let me see. Yeah, hopefully, Steve. What's the tide state now? On the flood. Yeah, it's on the flood. I tide's at 10 o'clock. And it's getting sort of 10 to 8 now, I think. So we've got a couple of hours of the flood. I think this is the best time. This is my favourite time anyway. thinking now? I'm thinking of putting a gripper on that scratching rig. 2 hours up, 2 hours down, always a favourite on lots of marks. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, definitely. Usually I start early because I'm impatient. So when I go fishing, I like to get there right at the bottom of the tide and fish it all the way up. And by the time my tide comes, I've had enough and I can't be bothered to fish anymore the other side. So I rarely fish the other side of the tide. But I know that the ebb does produce in a lot of places. Definitely. Yeah, I'm going to get that left down rod in now, that had them tiny little strips of squid on. See if there's anything hanging on, and if not, I'm going to put a little bit of lugworm, and again just flip it out in the surf. So again, I'll be back. So nothing on there. Tiny little bit of squid left on that one. Something's had a little nip. Something's had a little go at that one. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put slightly bigger hooks on there. They're twos. I'm going to put twos on there. It's only because them little tiny size 8s or whatever they were, I think struggle to get that lugworm on there. I remember when I could do this without having glasses on. Absolutely ridiculous how quickly my eyes have deteriorated. That's a hard word to say. What I'll do now, if I haven't got glasses and I'm tying a blood knot, I'll go through the hook high, then I'll put my finger in the first loop and keep it there. So when it comes to time to stick it through the loop's massive because it's the size of my finger. And that way I can tie hooks if I do happen to forget my glasses, or if I just can't locate them and I need to do it quickly. That was quite possibly the worst knot in the world. Even with glasses, I'm not that clever. Turn it in. That's got it. Right, so, size 2s. A little bit of blow lug. And a little little thin sliver of squid. Deadly. Just like that, what do you reckon? Had it. So. Thread that up the line. Bit of squid on there. Good quality connection for a live stream. Cheers, Dave. Good to see you, mate. Maybe worth trying straight lug or red on the scratching me. Yeah, without the squid, perhaps. I'll give this one a fling, and if nothing happens, I'll try that. Maybe just lug, or maybe just lug on one. Didn't have any rag. I popped into Cosham Angling to get some rag, and they didn't have any. They said the tides, because the tides don't go out very far at the moment, they're having some trouble getting it. I rung up Fish on Bait and Tackle up in Portsgrove. They didn't have any either, so I had to get some frozen blacks and some sandals and stuff. Right, I'm just going to get this one out in the surf. Happy days. And we're set. I've just had a thought as well. Dabs. Get a lot of dabs down here through the winter. I might be a bit too early for the dabs. I haven't heard of any coming out. Is that a bit of current or is that a pine? I think there's a bite on the sand eel rod. See, for the stream, because I want to have the rods here, and I don't want to move the tent, I'm quite a way back from the water's edge. On a normal session, without having the stream and everything set up, I'll probably have the rods right next to the sea. But I'm quite a way back, so I've got a lot of line between me and where it enters the sea. And there's quite a bit of wind coming through as well, so the wind's blowing the line. It's just making the rods bounce a little bit. So it's just a case of picking out the shy biters from the wind. But it definitely looked like we had a little knock on that sand eel rod. Talking of sand eel rod, let's get that one sorted. Skizzers. Told you I'm unorganised. Got scissors around here somewhere. Elastic's brilliant for holding your baits together. Absolute genius, whoever invented that. But it can be a pain when you come to rebate. So what do you reckon? Should I stick with a double sandal or should I try something different on this one? I'm open to suggestions. I've got black lug. But I don't think we want to fish for codling. I just don't think, that's what they call them, unicorns, isn't it? It looks like I've got a super chat. That is amazing. Whoever that is, thank you so much. If you can just pop up now, who you are, and I can thank you personally, because that is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. A couple of squid eggs there. I might use a bit of squid egg. Come on, show yourself. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, a legend. I've seen it in the more established streams. I didn't expect to get one in mine. Fantastic. Thank you so much, whoever that is. You have made my night. What are we thinking? Got loads of squid eggs. Spanky Fish, nice to see you live streaming, Stu. Have a couple of ragwine on me. Thank you so much, Spanky Fisher. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. So, I think what I'm going to do is get my double baiting needle, put 2 squid heads on it. Wrap them together. I think the squid's working well, from what I've seen, because there's a lot of squid around at the moment. A lot of people catching squid on the squid jigs. I looked for squid jigs in a tackle shop today, but they didn't have any. I do fancy having a go at that. I've never done it before, never caught a squid, but it does seem intriguing. So that's a couple of squid eggs all wrapped together, and I think I'm going to put that on my 3.0. It's got some ooze coming out of it. What a mess. That's got loads of gear coming out of it, but that's what we want. That's what we want, that nice central going out the beach. Like I said, even a strap conger or a dogfish would be cool just to catch fish. The last couple of times we've been down there, it's been really, really hard. At night time anyway. Right, that's that. Slide that off. And there we have 2 squid eggs. Wraps on with all the tentacles and juicy bits. There, it's great lush. Stories, you. Great success. Cheers, Alan. Thanks for giving it a go, buddy. Cheers, Tony. Thank you. Tight lines, they are tight at the moment. I think lock, stock and tackle have squid jigs. Yes, I will venture a bit further afield. I've seen them on Amazon as well, but you don't know what you're getting off Amazon, do you? 'Cause it's not a tackle shop, if that makes sense. It's not an out-and-out tackle shop. I'm pretty sure if I popped in to see Justin down at Lockstock and said, "This decent squid jig," you'd probably say that one over there catches loads. But Amazon can't do that, can it? hour and 6 minutes. Fabulous. We started at 7, so I'll make that just after 8 o'clock. Is that right? Let me just swipe down. 8 o'clock, hang on. Yeah. And no fish yet. I'm going to leave them out there a little bit longer this time, I think. And there's no football either. Last time I was down here, down the beach, I watched a game of football. I think it was England against Scotland. Watched it on my phone while the rods were out. I had one of those dilemma moments. It was a case of I really want to go fishing, but also want to watch. I'm local, mate. Like 30 years experience sea fishing. The last few years I lost my mojo to try carp sea for season. I kind of decided it wasn't for me. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And do you know what? I go in and out of stuff as well. I love my carp fishing, as everybody knows. And I also love my sea fishing. And it's whatever I'm into at the time. Yeah, you've got to support the local shops. Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, you can go in now and you can have a bit of banter and a bit of a chinwag. And you can pick their brains. And they'll tell you stuff. They're not secret squirrels. They'll tell you what's going on. And if one squid jig's out fishing the others, then they'll tell you, you know. Because the thing is, they want people to keep coming back, don't they? So if you go in there and they feed you a load of bull crap, you go out fishing and it's a load of rubbish, you're not going to go back again. So it's in their best interest to do that anyway. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm well into my sea fishing. I've got my little sieve up together, got my little engine now, so I'm itching to get out. But I'm reluctant to go out until I've got all the safety kit. When I'm rowing, I can go out in the creek and I'm literally 200 yards from the shore. Less than that, 100 yards when I'm fishing underneath the M275 bridge. So if I did happen to topple over, I could swim to shore. It wouldn't take me long. I'm not the strongest swimmer in the world, but I'd make it because I'm not far from shore. But now I've got an engine and I want to go out a little bit further. I want to make sure that I've got everything. So I'm going to get myself a VHF radio. I'm going to get myself a proper self-inflating life jacket. I'm going to get some flares on board as well. I've got to get a decent anchor too, something that's going to, with a bit of rope. If I'm going to go out in deeper water, I'm going to need a bit of a longer rope than I've got currently. So I don't want to go out half-assed. I just want to make sure I've got everything that's safe, so that in the event of something going wrong, I'm going to be all right. And it's the same with this live streaming as well. I wanted to wait until I had the box and the cradle and everything else until I did it, but again, I was a little bit impatient. But what's the worst that can happen? It didn't work and I didn't do a live stream. But I am, and it's really cool. But we do need a fish. That would make things a bit better. I've got loads of plans for carp coming up as well. Me and my good mate Steve, we're going to go out to France next year. Back in the next year, sort of September time. We went out to France a few years ago, a good few years ago and all. And had a great time. Well, I think we've been twice together. First time we went to one of those all-inclusive ones. So you drive down to Folkestone or whatever it is, park your car up, jump on the coach, put all your tackle in the trailer, and they take you there, they feed you. Yeah, all you've got to do is catch the fish. No bites as yet. It's a bit scary. I think this place has got a jinx on them. I don't know if there's a way of making the chats stay. Oh, you're definitely has to be safe when you're like, yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. You can't take any risks when you're out there. Have you been out the boat sea fishing? I have. I've been out. Just launch it off of, hang on, my foot's gone to sleep again. I'll launch it just out off of, by Alexandra Park. As like a bit of a, it's not a slipway, it used to be a slipway. Used to come out from Hilsey Crescent. Used to go down the Halsey Lane, and at the bottom there was like a little slipway, and then there was like a concrete road that went all the way out at low tide to the edge of the channel at low tide. and you could launch your boat off the end of it. But over the years, the mud and stuff is built up on top of it, so it's not now. It's a bit of a harder patch. And when I had my sib the first time round, a couple of years ago, I dragged the boat over the rocks and stuff, and I ended up catching it and tearing a great big hole in it, and that was the end of that. But what I've got now is I've got these wheels that you can fit onto the transom, so it makes it a lot easier to take your boat down over the rocks and the mud to the water's edge, flip the wheels up, and then away you go. And I've just rowed out underneath the M275 bridge, because when I was little, I always used to fish from the shore under the M275 bridge, and I always thought, how cool would it be to have a boat in the middle section and fish straight down off the back of the boat. So it's been pretty cool to realise that recently. Just tying up to one of the posts, or chucking a little anchor over. And I've just been fishing with ragworm and catching a few bass. Nothing massive, but a good bit of sport on light tackle. Alan, who's in the chat, he was in the chat anyway, gave me a couple of rods, a couple of lure rods, really light action lure rods. You catch a 1.5 2 pound bass on one of them, and it's fantastic sport. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way. I'll have a look at the settings later, see if there's a way for the chat messages to stay up on the screen a little bit longer. There's going to be loads of settings that I don't know about, so I'm still finding my way. There's 3 little dots down here. What does that do? So highlight. No. I don't know what that was. Oh, there's a screen settings as well. Oh, you can change the... Oh my god. Have you been out on the boat sea fishing? Oh, so that's great. Yeah, it's great, mate, honestly. And what I like about it as well, I've become a little bit unsociable, I think. When I'm fishing, I like to go places where there's no other people. I've got nothing wrong with... if I go fishing with people, brilliant. I go fishing with people and we'll have a good time. But sometimes you want to go and just have a little bit of me time. Just want to go out and find a little spot, do a little bit of fishing. That's why I love fishing on the moat when I was fishing there, because it was so secluded. You never get anybody walking around, and it was just me. It was all, I had it all to myself, and it was just quiet time, and I could just think, and I could go about what I was doing and concentrate 100%. And it was probably in the summer, a couple of months ago. I went fishing down Eastney off the Bunny Pike Pier, and I've got on the end and I put the rods out, and I had stream after stream after stream of people coming down the end of the pier. What you caught, mate? What you caught? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And I was polite to them and pleasant to them, and and it was great. But after about an hour, I packed up on my own because I just didn't want to be bombarded by people. I just wanted to fish, and that's why I love going out in my little sib, because it's just so secluded and you don't get caught anything, mates. But no, I'm not that grumpy that I don't speak to people. But no, sometimes I just want a bit of seclusion, a little bit of a wind down. Life can be hectic enough sometimes. Sometimes you need a little bit of an escape from it. And fishing's my escape from the rat race. What's going on with these rods then? I think I might have caught if I had ragworm. It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely. Bit of solitude, bit of thinking time. I've come up with some of my best plans while I've been fishing. I haven't seen any foxes yet. Have you dropped one in close, 10 yards or so? I keep saying that I'm going to... The last one is probably about 15 yards out. Yeah, Karen Row 4. Yeah, it is. It's lovely. And I've seen there's a couple of videos of matches that they've had on there recently. And there's some nice fish in there too. When I did that little Karen Road challenge thing for the Pompey Club, I went up on there and saw a few fish milling around and got dog biscuits going and caught a couple of fish, and I loved it. It was fantastic. I moved on to the other ponds because the challenge was to catch one from each of the 4 ponds. But I could have quite happily sat there all day. And there's some lovely crucians in there as well. Yeah, I've got one in close. Probably, like I said, probably about, it was literally a little overhead flick. probably about 15 yards out. That's the little scratching one with little bits of lugworm and little bits of squid on size 2s. Yeah, definitely, Matt. Yeah, you need it, mate. You need it. I think it just recharges you. I think you just depeopleise yourself. I just might have invented a new word, but I think that's what it is. You just get to, don't know, become at one with yourself again. And then the drive home from fishing, when you've had a bit of solitude and you've got it all out your system, and you've done some thinking and you've done some fishing and you've had a lovely time, when you're driving home with a smile on your face. You know, just thinking, you know what, get home, have a pot noodle, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and it's a new day. It's fantastic. I think you need it. So when that sandwheel rod comes in, I'm going to be putting that double squid head bait on. And then when the other rod comes back in, when the balk comes in, I'm going to put a couple of blow lug on, one on each hook with no squid, because I am open to suggestions. We are a bit limited in what we've got. I didn't bring loads and loads of bait with me because I knew it was going to be a short session, but we have got stuff and we should be able to catch fish, because I've fished this beach a lot in the past and I've nearly always done alright. You know, it's a case of having a few boats, and you might miss a few boats and you might catch a few fish. But the last 3 or 4 times I've been down here this year, it's been rock hard. But the saving grace is there's no seaweed at the moment. I'm not getting loads of new seaweed. Last time I was pulling in like 30-pound clumps of seaweed and it wasn't no fun. I was like, literally, the line was bedding in to the spool, the rod was hooped over, the wind was singing in the line, and then I'd drag it all up onto the beach, pick at it for 10 minutes, rebait the hooks, chuck it back out and repeat the process. It's just no fun at all. That gets old really quickly. "25 likes. Thanks for smashing the like button. If you haven't already, make sure you do." That's just something that the live streamers that I watch, they say that all the time. I don't know what it does. I think it's the algorithm or something. It's if you get lots of likes, then it's really good. But I've got 20 people in the chat and 25 likes, so that's a good ratio for me. I'm happy. I'm happy. Are you happy? We're fishing. We're out. We're doing it. The only thing at night time is you can't really see a lot, can you? Last couple of streams that Will's done, he's been out in his boat overnight, and he launches. Not launches. What's the opposite to launching? Anyway, he gets his boat in at the end of the session, just on sunrise, and he's there sorting his boat out, and you can see the sun rising in the background. It's absolutely lovely. But you're not going to have any of that, unfortunately. All you've got is darkness, and because it's overcast, there's not even any stars up there. Yeah, never caught a sole. I think this is the time of year for them as well. Loads of crabs picking at your bait. Probably is actually, mate. Probably loads of crab. Like I say, the last one that I brought in, the sandhill rod, it had been proper mangled. So I'm going to bring that one in a minute and swap it for that squid. But the other one that had the little strips of squid on, they were pretty much intact. So yeah, I think I'm going to start winding these in now and have a little freshen up of the baits. So if you'll just bear with me, I'll go and see to it.
Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside.
don't know if that's the gripper. It's got a bit of weed around it, and I'm pulling a bit of weed in. But that was a little bit slack, it was. A bit of weight there, might be some seaweed. Oh, I'm not sure. Blank saver. Black bream. Double sandia. There you go. Yay! Fantastic, look at that. Right, let's go and put him back. We caught a fish. We haven't blanked. Yes! Woohoo! Cheers, fellas. Thank you very much. I say fellas, there might be ladies in the chat, so thank you, boys and girls. That feels good. And a double sand eel. Would you Adam and Eve it? Cheers, mate. Thank you. Oh. Oh, it's just nice to get the blank hoodoo out of the way. Hoodoo? You do. Where'd that go? There it is. Right, so now we've got some squid going out. So I predict a riot. No, I predict. I am a little bit mad, by the way. You might have realised that, but I have got tendencies sometimes to be a little bit mad. If I was on my own, I'd be probably singing and being a nutcase. But I'm toning it down a little bit for you lot. Let's get all wrapped up now a bit. So I predict that I'm going to get nothing on this, but if I do, I reckon I'm going to get a strap conga and it's going to tangle my rig up like a spider's wedding. That's not what it is. It's a snake's wedding, isn't it? It's a snake's wedding. Yeah. Not a spider's wedding. Yeah. So, rig ready to go. 2 squid eggs all wrapped on, size 3/0. Bosh! Let's get it out there. We're loving life! got that age-old classic, right? I used to get this when I was little. But whenever I wore Wellingtons, the sock would fall down inside. And I'd have to take my wellies off, put my sock up, because my sock would be all around my toes, and not on the actual foot. Proper pain. So what's that like for sod's law then? I've got a rod out scratching with little baits on. That battery's nearly dead. That's all right. See, this is the things that I need to work on and figure out to keep everything going to the whole string battery wise. I think we'll be ready. I've got a light here that I'm not actually using, so if I put that there, there we can shoot. Turn it around and face it upwards, and turn it on. Might get a light them rods out a little bit. Yeah, cheers mate, thank you. Yeah, it was, I remember when you put me on that that little post office lake. Was it the post office lake? Or the Legion Club lake? Yeah, it's always nice when you bump into someone who don't mind sharing things with you. Life's too short to have secret squirrels, really. You know, if someone needs to know something, let them know. What's the worst that can happen? There are some extreme, you know, like if you're fishing for the biggest carp in the land or something, you know, and you've got a hunch where it is, you're not going to tell everybody, but there's certain things that you just let people know. Yeah, so the big rod that does it. Yeah, when I wound that in, the scratching rod, the baits were absolutely untouched, so I just flicked it straight back out again, but a bit shorter, like Singy said. Chuck one in a little bit closer, and that's what I've done. So I do listen. So on this one, I'm gonna stick with a sand eel, you know, double sand eel, because like I say, I've had a fair few thornbacks and undulates from this beach, and this is the time of year. I'll go back through my. It's like keeping a diary, you know, having a YouTube channel. You can go back through your old videos. Like, what did I catch down the beach at that time of year? Go back through the videos from that time, have a quick recap, and away you go. Double sand. I don't know where that light's coming from. I do actually, it's that one there, but it's facing down. I don't think that brain would have given me a slack line. Weird. When you get a slack line, I've had rays up here give me slack line. Get a big old bang, you hear the bell, ding, bang, and when you look up, the line's just laying on the beach. Classic. It's usually a classic cod bite as well, the slack liner. But yeah, the rays do it as well. I think they come over, they sort of mantle the bait, take it in. It takes a while to take it in, and as they start to move off, bang, and then they come back towards, away from the tension, and get the old slack line out. Yeah, they're bouncing around, but it's in the wind. And it's lovely to be out. Yeah, I ain't been out for a while because your mum's not been too well. She picked up an infection, had to go into hospital. Pike fishing videos, do you know what? It's something I haven't done before. I don't know what it is with pike, but it's just something that doesn't really get my juices flowing. I've had a go for pike in the past, I've fished for them, I've caught them. But it's not something that I think, oh, getting cold, pike fishing season. I'll sooner sit down here catching whiting. I don't know, it's just something about pike that just don't float my boat. Same with trout as well, fly fishing. I like loads and loads and loads of different types of fishing. But trout, fly fishing and pike fishing are two things I haven't really taken to, for whatever reason. Yeah, Mum picked up a bit of an infection, and I got the ambulance out for her and she went into hospital for a week. And while she was in hospital, she caught COVID. But she's at home now. She's been home. Brought her home Saturday. And she's fine. She's happy. So there you go. That. Double sand deal, mate. Yeah, cheers, Andrew. Thank you. She's fine, mate. Honestly, she's all right now. But what it was is she went sort of 3 or 4 days without eating anything because of this infection. She had a fever and stuff, and the COVID, and she was very, very weak, where she hadn't eaten for a while. So her appetite was down and everything. So it was a case of keeping her in hospital until she'd eaten a little bit and got back on her feet. And then on Saturday they called up and said, yeah, she's fine. You can take her home now. And she's been home. I've been feeding her up well. And yeah, she's pretty much there now, which is good. That lake's died now. Do you know what? That is a micro USB, not a USB-C, and I haven't got any. Oh well, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure you can still just about see the rockets anyway. But for next time, I will work it out a bit better. This torch thing here, it's got like a spotlight that side and LEDs in this side, and it's really, really cool. It's dead, but it's really, really cool. But I've used it as a torch, but I've never had it on for any prolonged length of time. So today was the test. Can you see you can see the rod tips, can't you? You can see them, just about. Yeah. Oh, 17 functions and then sorry. So we haven't blanked, we caught a fish. Albeit a bream, fish is a fish. And when it's going a bit tricky like this, you'll take anything. We said that, didn't we? 18 people have stuck with me for an hour and a half. I appreciate every single one here. 20 people. Thanks guys, I appreciate it. Listening to me waffling on. I'll tell you what I have got. I've got a spare headlamp, right? I've got a bag of spare headlamps. Ask any carp angler. And he'll have a bag of spare headlamps. And a USB-C. And I need a USB. And what I might be able to do is stick that like that, and then you can see the rod tips better. Is that better? Let me know, someone, if that's better than it was. Pretty sure it is. These headlamps, these ones, right? I've got these off of Amazon. Sound of the waves lapping at the shores, comforting sound as always. It really is, isn't it? Just about waiting for one of them bells to start dinging. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Mum loves a bit of grub. Mum really does love a bit of grub. And I love a bit of cooking as well. You've probably seen, if you follow me on Facebook, got into a bit of Cantonese cooking. Bit of a wok god. Been making some teriyaki chicken, some sweet and sour chicken, lemon chicken, mostly chicken. Ouch. Sharp stone. And some beef stir fries, like Mongolian beef stir fries, things like that. Been watching some YouTube channels, watching them, writing down the methods and the ingredients, going out and buying a load of stuff, and then making it. And I've been making some really, really good dishes. And my mum loves Chinese food, so she's lapping that up. She's like, yeah, you practice away, yeah. I'll be your guinea pig. And she loves that. And I thought about doing a session on the beach one time, and bringing a little stove and a wok and doing a little stir fry on the beach. Maybe when I'm fishing with somebody. So if there's a couple of us, I can do us a stir fry on the beach. How cool would that be? What if anyone's ever done that before? I could be the pioneer. What was we saying? Off on a tangent, don't I? Terrible for it. Oh yeah, these headlamps. Yeah, these headlamps, right? I think they were a tenner for a pack of 2. It's a bit. Oh, yeah, the lights. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, they're lighting them up a bit better, aren't they? Yeah, these headlamps. I got them off Amazon. They were 10 quid for a pack of 2. They're metal, right? They're really bright, and they're rechargeable. And they seem to last like a session easily. So when I get home, I can just like recharge these 2, and they're good to go for the next session. Wow, absolutely fantastic. If anyone's interested in them, I'll put a link on my page and you can have a look at because they are great. But if you put in Amazon rechargeable headlamps, was it Amazon or eBay? I think it was Amazon. And they're a pack of 2 for about 10 quid, and they're fantastic. I've got an expensive one in here. I've got an Energizer one there. I'd like a head torch that just switches on and off without going through all the way. Tell me about it, right? This one is an Energizer one, right? Now you put it on, and then when you hold the button, it dims and then goes brighter, and then dims, and then goes brighter. What's that all about? On or off, please? If Energizer, if you're watching, probably not, but if you are, Energizer, Petzl, any of them companies watching this live stream, on and off. That's all we need. Rant over. Phoenix. Yeah, do you know what? They are, aren't they? They're the bollocks. Am I allowed to not swear on the stream? I suppose I am on my stream. Yeah, anyway, if there's any ladies or children, I apologise for language. Yeah, the Phoenix ones. I've seen a few people, and the live streams have the Phoenix ones on. I know Mark William uses the Phoenix ones, and so does Matt, Fishing with Matt, and they are a bit good. You get what you pay for, I suppose, don't you? If I'm paying £5 for a headlamp, they're not going to be fantastic. They're good enough for what I need at the moment, but maybe a Phoenix one is something that I invest in a little bit later. Definitely worth thinking about. I haven't heard any jingles. We've had that fish, but I think that was kind of like on there. I haven't really had any. It's not going to be too long now, is it? No flashing modes. Yeah, exactly. That's all you need. That's all you need, mate. I mean, who needs their headlight to flash? That'd just freak you out, wouldn't it? You're trying to do something, and every now and again, whatever it is you're looking at keeps disappearing. That's going to get right on your nerves, isn't it? What a fantastic evening. Yeah, as I was saying, it's not going to be too long. You know who's going to turn up. The whiting. The whiting can be a pain, can't they? When you're about a dozen tings into a session, you're ready to go home, aren't you? By all accounts, and I've never tried them, but by all accounts, the whiting are fairly good eating. You get a couple of decent sized ones, they can be fairly good eating apparently. I know Ian Gold used to eat them. Used to swear by them. He's fishing matches and you get half a dozen sort of decent sized ones, you take them home. Only 15 minutes off 2 hours. How cool is that? The danger is, mate, I thought, right, so when I do a video, I film myself doing a bit of baiting up, and then I film myself casting out into the sea, and then I'll sit and say, well, I've just put one out there, and let's hope we can catch fish, you know, and then I'll turn the camera off until I bait up again, or I might catch a fish and hold it up, and then I might cast again, you know, it's their little snippets. But when you're going to do a live stream, like for the first time, it's a bit daunting because you think, I could do a live stream for like 3 hours, and I've got to keep talking for 3 hours. How am I going to do that? How am I going to find things to talk about? But you just do. I suppose you've got to be that way inclined in the first place. It's not for everyone. But I can talk behind digs off a donkey at the best of times. Shell. Really cool shell. I'm going to put that in my little box because my little girl will love that. Well, I think that scratching rig should come in. And I think I'm going to put just lugworm on. And maybe go out a little bit further. I just missed a chat, didn't I? Sorry, I'm not concentrating properly. You've got to be really quick. It's like ninja chat. Do you know what I mean? You scratch your head, you look up, and then it disappears. You're like, who was it? I'm really sorry that I missed your... Because I've done it where I've put something up on the live stream, and I want them to read it, because I want an answer. I've asked them a question about something. And like, they're having a chin waggle, they're looking at the rod, or just as I put it up there, they get a bite and they run over to the rod and it gets missed. And what you don't want to do, or at least I don't feel like I want to, keep putting the same message on in the hope that he's going to read it. But I suppose if you want him to read it, then I suppose you've got to repost it in order... I'm babbling again now, aren't I? But yeah, you get what I mean. Like I said, I'm going to look into the settings and see if I can... always learn to play the guitar. So basically, no discredit to someone who does. Do you know what? It's fantastic. He's just got a new guitar. He got it this morning. He was at... time flies when you're having fun, it certainly does. I caught both of them messages on Wildcraft. When he was doing a live stream this morning from Has the Wall, he just bought a guitar off Facebook Marketplace, and the bloke brought it down to Has the Wall for him. And he tuned it, and then he sat there playing a bit of Oasis and that on the guitar and having a bit of a sing-song. And it's quite, watching his rods, listening to him playing the guitar and all that. I don't know, I'm into it at the moment. I quite enjoy it. It's quite entertaining as well. I don't know how many of you has actually seen the rope swing incident. If you haven't, watch it. I posted a link to it on my page. Have a look. He was rowing ashore, and on this island he saw this rope swing that someone had ripped up in a tree. 6'4", he's massive, right? And he set the camera up. If you're going to do something stupid, always have a camera rolling, because you never know. He got up there, got in it, give it the old Geronimo, and it snapped, and he fell about 20 feet to the ground. And all you could hear on the live stream was him groaning, and I don't think I've broken anything. It was funny, honestly. I've posted a link to it. Go and have a look, it's funny. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Everyone's got to have their little niche, haven't they? If everyone was the same, you wouldn't know who to watch. So everyone's got to have a little bit of something about them. You've got to have your own little style, I suppose, as it were. Same with everything, If everyone was the same, it would be boring. I've got this power bank, and it's been going for an hour and 3/4, and it's got 5 bars on it, and I've used 1, so that bodes well. I'm going to get that little scratching rod in now, so bear with me. How are you on the tambourine? I could give it a go. I can give most things a go. What can I play? I used to be able to play the keyboard, the old piano at school. Not well, but yeah, a little bit. I love his harmonica as well when he's out on the boat. I think it's brilliant. But he's got that little niche, it's his, he does that. So I'll have to find something. I'll have to find something that I can do to while the hours waiting for the rods to not move. Right, I've got to try and get up now. I've done it again. I've knelt down for too long, and my ankles have gone numb. So I've got to be careful. God, don't be 50. It's crap. There we go. Right. Flounder on there. That's what we're hoping for. Or salt. yeah, I think I've come to the conclusion that there's not much in the surf. So I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a gripper on. I'm going to chuck it out a little bit further. And I'm going to see if there's a... Because obviously out a bit further, and when I say a bit further, I'm not the biggest caster. So I'm probably casting that rod there about 60 yards. 60 or 70 yards, something like that. So I think if I put it out the same sort of distance, there's obviously bream out at that distance, right? So with the small hooks and the small baits, out at that distance, you can kind of see where I'm coming from, right? So I'm going to bait these up. And get them out there. Yeah, bait digging. Not for me anymore. Not for me anymore, mister. Gave that a go. Thought, yeah, bait digging. I used to do that when I was 18. I can do that again now at 50. No. Done me back. Got all out of breath. Up to the top of me wellies in mud, panicking. For a split second, actually thought I was going to die out on the mud. Yeah, not good. Buy it. Let someone else dig it. Some 18-year-old. Like I used to in the day. Yeah. Sod that. I think what I'm going to do... I've done it a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, I went to try and dig some ragworm. And for about a week after, my back was just ruined. And I vowed then never to do it again. And then I did it again. So I think what I'm going to do now is if anyone wants to buy a couple of garden forks, I've got a couple for sale. If it's not there, then I won't have the temptation, right? Tight lines better, all the best for the rest of the session. Thank you very much, Matt. Thanks for checking in, mate. Appreciate it. Evening all, Danny. How you doing, Danny? Good to see you here, mate. I'm just going to put my scratching rig out a little bit further now. It's been out in the surf about 15, 20 yards and it's done nothing. So the big rod has had a bream, so there's obviously fish out a bit further out. So I'm going to give that a go now.
So, to the horizon!
And we're back in the room. 31 likes, that's incredible, that is. I don't think I've set myself any targets. I mean, I joked about sitting here and talking to myself, but yeah, I think it's gone swimmingly. Good pun there, eh? Got this wrapper black lug as well. What I could do, right, if I was feeling really brave, is on one of the big hooks, cut them big old black lugs, nice old bit of squid, wrap it all up, stick it out there for a codding. I think there are a few around, but That's going to be a tall order, I think. No dancing rod tips tonight. It is hard graft. It is hard graft. Yeah, lug pumping. Doesn't really work around this area. No, someone mentioned that to me. They said it's about 70 quid for this pump, but it saves your back. You just put it on the car, suck, and it pulls them out. I think that's alright for where you get the big black lug from. Like Dungeness and all those sort of famous places where you do that lug pumping. But I think round here, where it's like, where I was digging, it was all sandy back in the day, sort of 30 years ago when I used to dig there, but now it's all like clay and horrible stuff, and it was a bit hit and miss with the lugworm as well, and I just don't know if the pumping would work. I don't know. Might do. It's one of them, innit? Don't know till you try. I can't get in, can I? Because I haven't got the right lead. I looked at a lead as well. I looked at for this torch. I picked up a lead and it was a micro USB, and I thought, no, I don't need that. Everything I've got is USB-C, and that's micro USB. And I could have put that over there and then plugged it in and then had that working again. That's annoying. But you live and learn. You can still see the rod tips just about here. These things that aren't moving. That's a scary thought as well. Going out fishing in a sieve at night. Must be time for pot noodles. Do you know what? You're not going to let that go, are you? I'm not telling these people what that's all about either. I don't feel hungry because I had that big old cottage pie milk. It's one of them, right? We had a cottage pie yesterday, a big cottage pie like this, and we had like a quarter of it. So we had like an eighth each, if that makes sense. And then tonight, we had it again, and Mum had her little portion, and what was left, I thought, I could probably eat all that, just so it's done, 2 days, perfect. And I put it on my plate, and it was it's like this. And it was so nice, I ate it all, and afterwards I felt so ill because I'd eaten too much. And that's why I'm not hungry at all. But I have got a bottle of water somewhere, yes I have. Got me water. Lubricate the old throat. Gone off on a tangent again, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, live and learn with the charger and the leads and all that. I'll devise a little bag, a little bag with all of the live streaming sort of kit, lights, camera, chargers, all that sort of stuff in it. And then when I go, all I've got to do is just bring that bag and I know that everything's in it. But this one was always going to be a little bit of trial and error. And rig making as well. Do some rig making sessions at home. So I can try a few different... I can make rigs. I just choose not to. And then when I get down the beach, I'm like, why didn't I make some rigs? Yeah, oh, that was it, sig fishing at night. I'd love to, because it fishes really well. Especially with the congers and things like that at night time. But yeah, you've got to have your wits about you when you're out there at night time out in the harbour with big old ships coming past. And, that's when it hits home that I want to get a little bit of experience under my belt first. Get all the safety kit, get a few trips out there during the day, see everything, see what I'm doing, get to know the routes and stuff, and then maybe go out with somebody else who already does it, who knows what they're doing. I think that's going to be the key. I think it's always safety in numbers anyway, isn't it? If there's two of you out there and one of you have a problem, you should jump in the other one's boat and you're fine. In theory. So, What is going on with the fishing today? Tell you what, there's one boat out there that is absolutely lit up like Christmas. Oh, that's what it's about. This big old squid bait out there on this beach at night time in the autumn. You're thinking strap congers are a pain in the bum. Dogfish, oh, not another dogfish. That's what it's usually like down here. I would love to catch dogfish right now. Pre-made rigs, that's the other thing as well. I know people that use pre-made rigs and absolutely swear by them. Good components, tied well. You're putting your trust in someone else's knots, isn't it? I think that's why I haven't done it up to now. Someone else's rig components. They've chosen the rig components, they've tied the knots, and you're fishing with it for a potential fish of a lifetime. If I lose something because of a dodgy knot, then I want to be able to blame myself, not blame some. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? But no, I think a lot of these rigs these days, they're done properly by people who know what they're doing. And yeah, it might be worth having some in the box, you know, just for times like this when I might want to put out a free-up flapper or a pompey loop rig or something a bit different. Very quiet on the fish front. Still 14 of you in, and we're 2 hours in now. 2 hours. That's good. But some of these people do 7 or 8 hour streams. It's mental. But that's where this new battery box is going to come in. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a video document on me building it as well. If anyone's interested in that, let me know. Because what I might do, I've still got I've got a list of all the components that I need. I've watched a load of YouTube videos on how to build it, how to wire it as well, because I'm no electrician. But I've watched countless videos of people wiring up these things. The do's and don'ts, the little tips, the things that you can do wrong. And I'll continue to watch them as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. And what I'll do is I will stick a camera over my shoulder and just talk through what I'm doing. From mounting the battery in the box to cutting the holes out for the little accessories to go in, to wiring it up and getting it all going. And then what it'll be is it'll be a box that I can just lift up, I can charge it, lift it up and take it when I go carp fishing overnight. I can sit on my biggie table and I can have my phones and my cameras and my GoPros and stuff all plugged into it. If I take the kids, they can have their tablets plugged into it. If we go camping, I can use it for the phones and the tablets and stuff. And maybe some accessories, like a fan or something, if it's in the summer, I can plug into it. And if I go out on the SIB, do a live out on the SIB as well, I can have the lights and the phone and everything plugged into it. And I think that would be really good. Yeah, it would be a good watch, I think. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to building it. Like I say, the battery's turned up at the moment, that's all I've got. I've ordered the wires, I've ordered the box should be here tomorrow, the plastic box. And yeah, I just need to order a few other little bits. And once it all comes, then I'll make a start on the build. And when you have power cuts as well, do you know what, we don't have power cuts anymore. When I was little, we used to have power cuts. And we always used to have candles in the drawer for when we had power cuts. And it was quite exciting when you were little. The power goes out, pitch black, and you light a candle and you all sit around and talk. Because nobody does that anymore, do they? These fish are mugging me right off, aren't they? There's a pack of dogfish out there now, sitting around my bait going, no, don't do it, it's him. It's him, isn't it? Yeah, desperate. So, that double sand eel might have to go out in a minute, because the squid's probably been... Oh, it's back. I think it had a little bit of a moment then, didn't it? 4G. All seems to be tickety boom. Johnny Elsie, I've just seen your message, and no, I haven't got a pot noodle. You and Steve can turn it in, alright? Wrong uns, both of you. What do you reckon then? Should I wind in the sandeel rod? No, the squid rod. Squid on there, isn't it? A couple of eggs I'll put on. To see if it's been chewed to bits and get sandeel back out again. What do you reckon? Bit edgy. I think so. Because the water is getting churned up a bit out there. The water's quite coloured. And I think all the time putting fresh baits out, got a bit of scent being moved about. The longer it's been out there, the longer the scent gets washed out. And I think it kind of renders it a bit useless. I've got a little bit of a chill down my neck then. I'm not cold, just had a little bit of a chill down my neck then. I've got that other coat and I haven't felt the need to put it on yet. But come on, jingle jangle. Now that boat I said is all lit up like Christmas. It's like a tanker. It's a great big long thing. And I think the way it's going, it looks like it's going into Langston Run. It's massive. It might be that big old thing that goes up Kendall's Wharf, you know, the big dredging thing. The aggregates boat. It might be that. Anyway. Sandal, squid one. Let's get in. So, I don't even think that's been nibbled. Looks the same as when it went out. I think they are, because I think that's why the bait diggers are struggling at the moment. I think it is neap tides at the moment, and I don't think they're the best fishing tides. Because there's small tides, not a lot of tide movement. And I think that's testament to why there's one angler that way and I can see for quite a distance, and there's one angler the other way and again I can see quite a distance that way. So I think they know something I don't. Yeah, when I'm concentrating on the fishing more, because I'm not tonight, because I'm entertaining. I'm never one for timing it anyway. You know, I'll give this one 20 minutes. If it comes in tuned, I'll give it 15 minutes next time and all that sort of thing. It's just like when I feel it winding it in. There's no science to it where I'm concerned. So there we go. Couple of sand eels, all clipped down and ready to go. I don't know why I clip them down. No matter what I do, and it's when it's daylight, I cast out, and halfway out, I see it come out the clip anyway. I don't think I've had one. Very rarely, it stays in the clip all the way until it hits the water. Maybe it's right there. There you go. Right, I'll just cast this out and I'll be back ages later. Yeah, someone mentioned them earlier, them lights. I've seen them, people fishing with them lights. I think lights on the end of your rod are really cool. The only problem is when you get line wrapped around them and then you lose 4 inches off the top of your rod. That ain't so cool. But when they've got them lights now that flash when you get a bite. How cool are they? I might be tempted actually. The thing is, when I'm daydreaming or watching football or having a chat with you guys, is that going to alert me that I've got a bite? It's not, is it? It'll probably be one of you lot saying, Stu, what's going? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, cheers. But with the bell, you can't beat a jingle jangle, can you? Not that I've heard one tonight. I think someone's... That was a bite on that left-hand one. Was that the first jingle jangle of the evening? I think it might have been, you know. Sometimes you hear phantom jingles as well. Through the waves lapping and stuff, and you know, all the ambient sounds, you might just hear a little bit of a jingle and think, oh, jingle. But it wasn't, it was in your head. Like when you get that phantom buzz in your pocket, and you think you've got a message on your phone, and then you realise you haven't even got a phone in your pocket. Have you had that? It's crazy. Your leg vibrates, but there's no phone. Don't get it. I'm going to go and have a look at that. There might be something in the current. I haven't heard any reports, but it's obviously not fishing that well at the moment down here. I may be proven wrong. Someone will probably say, what are you talking about? I was down there the night before last and had loads out. But going by how still these rods are and the baits that I'm using and the way I'm applying it, I think if there was much out there, I probably would have caught more than I have. I think it's just that I'm going to make excuses now. I think it's the tide. I think it's the time of year. I think it's the fact that there's no moon. I think it's the fact that I haven't brought any snacks. Loads of contributing factors as to why I'm struggling. But I haven't blanked. There's a little nick. I'm just running my fingers over there. It's £30 mono. It's really strong mono. And I can just feel a little bit of a scuff. A little bit of a scuff, right? But it's not enough of a scuff to make me want to change it. But it does make me think that there might have been a spider crab or something. A spider crab? A spider crab sat there having a little bit of a strum on that. see what I've got here. That's that. That's that. So, that's a squid. Right there, the bluey. The thing is with bluey, I think you've got to got one. I think you've got to do them when they're frozen, because otherwise they get a bit soft. And when you start wrapping them up with elastic, they really like ooze up and blow up and go horrible. I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to put half a bluey on. Half a bluey. Half a bluey? Who's he? Sorry, it's getting late. Well past my bedtime. Half a bluey. And bluey on its own or a bit of squid? Sure, singing, scaring the fish probably is. Met you down wagging his wells. Hello mate, how you doing? Good to see you back. I'm going to put half a bluey and I'm going to wrap a bit of squid around it as well. Give them a little treat, eh? Give them a little treat that they can't refuse. Sounded a bit Godfather, didn't it? Right. Wrap a bit of squid. A bit of squid on the bluey. Oh, when I was singing by the rods, you weren't supposed to hear that, by the way. I do though, I do break out in song now and again. Right, I'm not going to put too much elastic on, because that's a lovely little squid and bluey bait. By the time I put that on the hook, that's going to be banging, and that is going to release so much smell in that coloured water. Broke off inside. What's going on? I've got to undo that. Ah, it's run out. That's why. That's right, because I've got some here. I have to get a refill for that, you know, with a thingy be jiggy, elastic dispenser, tool, bait applicator, debris. This elastic is a bit thicker. I don't know what difference it makes. Harder to break, but slide that off. All the old digits. And that, my friends, I think you'll agree, is a lovely squid and bluey bait. Ready to be launched to the horizon, at least 65 yards. I've got a double sanding on there at the moment, so that can stay a little bit longer. We just tighten them down. I did have a knock on that scratching rod, so I'm just going to wind that in and have a quick look. well. Hello. That boat's gone out, isn't it? Right, where we go? Oh, that's right, it's just turned us on again. Where we go? There's a battery on this way out. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to plug that light into the charger. Sorry, turn that off. I've had a bit of a weird occurrence. Oh, turn it off. Flash, flash, flash. Flash. Ah. No need for that, was there? Sorry. Actually, I've got to put this on so I can see where the charging port is. Right, so that's plugged in. That's charging while we go. Fabulous. In as much as I've got no hook. That ain't never going to be any good, is it, with no hook? My guess is that, because that's £8 line, right? Not the best. My guess is that, and it's really rough down the bottom. I reckon the spider crab's got hold of that, snipped it off. What do you reckon? I reckon that's what it is. Fishing with Matt, hello mate, how you doing? This is my first live stream and it's really scary, right? But I've got 12 people in the chat, 32 likes, 2 hours and 20 minutes in, and people are still watching. So that's really cool, right? I've had one bream so far, mate. One bream on double sand hill that I was fishing for a ray with. But beggars can't be choosers because it is quite slow down here. But I've just had something. I'm fishing with size 2 hooks and £8 line, just scratching on this rod, and something's just bitten me hook off. I think it was a crab. I think a spider crab's probably got to it. I'm just going to put that on because I've got to tie a bit of line on. Yeah, we've had a fish. We've had a fish, and I've got video evidence that it actually happened. So proper chuffed. Yeah, spider crab. It's light lines. See, when I was down here with Lee, he was fishing with light lines and really tiny hooks, just scratching around for anything that come along, and it was really fun fishing. And I'm kind of carrying that on. Where are we? We're down at down by the swimming baths, down at Eastney, mate. Usually around this time of year, there's a few rays down here. The obligatory dogfish, little strap congers. There's usually pretty good fishing this time of year down here, but alas, today it's not. Right. Little size 2, just get another one on there. Badly tied hook. No, it's a goodly tied hook. Goodly. Check that out. No, Eastney's. Do you know what? I've been down here for the last 3 times fishing at night time, and it's been rough. It's been very, very slow. In previous years, I've done alright down here. What does that mean? Is it buffering? Right, I'm going to stick the lugworm back out again. And check them off with squid. If I had some ragworm, I'd put that out, but I'll be back, good. Yeah, I think that's happened a couple of times, mate. It says I've got 4G there, alright, but it seems to be intermittently buffering. But I think we've been okay, considering. I don't know if there's anything I can do that can help with that. I think it's just the area that you're in and the signal you've got, I suppose. I suppose it's sort of out your control a little bit. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I know that when you're out in the boats and that, you can lose signal a bit, can't you? But it should be good here. Right, let's cut a little bit of squid to tip off. Quality looks good. Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. That's the front camera as well. So I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't be, but when I saw yours the other day, the quality was spot on, and that prompted me to stick with the front-facing camera so that I can be in shot. As I said, all trial and error on this, but I'm quite heartened by how it's going. So there we go. 2 lugworm and squid baits, size 2s, £8 snoods, and I'm just going to launch them back out. The tide's creeping up on me as well, but I think because of these neeps, I don't think it's going to come up all the way to the top. So I think we're going to be all right. So I'm just going to go and cast this out, and I'll be back. And breathe. Yeah, Matt, who's in the chat, is probably one of the first live streamers that I've started watching, and got hooked on it. So if you haven't already, look up Fishing with Matt, give him a little subscribe, and watch one of his lives, because they're really exciting, especially when he gets out in his sib, out in the Solent and out in the harbour fishing at night time. It's really cool. Right, so at least we've got 2 hooks back on again now. No worries, mate, anytime. Yeah, I reckon if you think back, on that left-hand rod, I had that jingle, didn't I? That only jingle of the night. And that's when that hook got taken. And I reckon because them grippers were in, and it's quite light line, yeah, you've got to have a bit of banter, ain't you? Otherwise it'd be boring, wouldn't it? If I went through tactics and, you know, the weather and what was on telly last night, it's not going to be fun, is it? You've got to have a bit of banter as well. Got to put the world to rights a little bit. Yeah, nice one, Doug. Yeah, there's Matt, there's South Coast Angler, really good watch. Local Marks Fishing, well worth watching. And Fishing Dorset Live as well. Those are the ones that I really like. I think we're going squidding tonight, down in us. We'll get in trouble with the lady friends. I heard you say yesterday when you was out on your sim that yeah, your missus wasn't too happy. Luckily I ain't got one, so I can do what I want. I haven't got that trouble anymore. Yeah, I went to the tackle shop today, my local one. They didn't have any squid jigs in, so I'm going to go to another tackle shop and get some. And I want to go squid fishing, but I've never ever done it before. So is it imperative that you have a light, or can you catch them without a light? I will get a light, it's just that at the moment I haven't got one. So do I not go because I haven't got a light, or do I just go anyway? Yeah, you do fish quite a bit, mate, don't you? Let's be honest. She is what's known as a fishing widow. Yeah, that's why I haven't got one anymore. like I've heard it's better during the day for squid fishing. Yeah, there's a group that I'm a member of on Facebook, Squid Fishing UK or something like that. And I've seen loads of pictures of squid in daylight, and people have got multiple squid as well. So 8 or 10 squids. Oh, there's a bite. There's a bite on that rod that I just put out with the squid and the lugworm. Second bite of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, 15 quid each. I heard you say that on the stream as well. Mate, you're going to be scared to use them. Cod, yeah, could have been. On size 2s and £8 line. Let's hope not. Yeah, 15 quid a jig, that's disgusting, that is. Can you imagine snagging up? You probably, don't pull for the brake, just jump in, swim down, see if you can free it. You've got to take your scuba gear with you. Oi, Dan. Got Dan and Matt in the house now. Appreciate that, guys. Yeah, I'll be scared as well, 15 quid a pop. But if they do the biz, do you know what I mean? If it's a difference between going out and catching 1 or 2 or having 10 on the shore, then it's worth the investment, surely. Oh, really? Yeah, Will was saying, he waits till November when there's loads of squid about. Because he said at the moment people are catching the odd 1 or 2. Yeah, guys, South Coast Dangler, who's in the chat, again, pop over to his channel, give him a subscribe and watch some of his lives because they're really quality as well. Eastney Ferry pontoon, someone else said that. Back in the day, you weren't allowed to fish off of there. But I think that's when the ferries are running. I think after a certain time at night, the ferries stop running and then it's fair game to go down there and do some fishing. Is that right? Yeah, no worries, mate. Oh, jingle, jingle. I think we've got a fish on. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to go and wind this fishing. How confident is that? Sue! All that cockiness and confidence and arrogance, and I wind in nothing. No fishy. No, there was nothing there. To be fair, that was a really good bite, but when I wound it in, the baits were pretty much intact. Still had a good, decent bit of squid hanging down, and decent bit of lugworm over the hook. So I've just nipped them back out again. Maybe I was a bit keen. Yeah, that's that'll learn me, won't it? Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a struggle with lights at the moment. I've got this one which died, that was lighting up the rods, and it's got a USB micro and not a USB-C, and I haven't got a USB micro lead. All trial and error. So I've got another light over here and a head torch, spare head torch lighting up on the rod tips, so you can just about see the rod tips here. And I've got another light here sort of shining down on the bait so I can see what I'm doing for prep work and stuff, so I don't have to put this on and blind you guys. So I'm just feeling it all out today. But I'm well happy. We've got people and another super chat as well. Let me know who that was so I can say thanks. Sorry guys, scroll up on the chat. Oh, I can see it. Fishing with Matt. Oh Matt, thank you mate. Oh mate, top class, thank you. Appreciate that, buddy. Gentleman and a scholar. I didn't realise. And can I touch? How do I get the chat back? Top chat, super chat, live chat. All messages are visible. I've just worked it out. How rubbish am I? Okay, so this chat stays. Oh mate, sound more like a cow, don't I? So when I press that live chat, it pops up so I can see it. Yeah, I've got it. I can see the chat now. Moon, thanks for joining us, mate. You've lasted 2.5 hours, so hats off to you. I won't take it off because I'll get cold ears. But yeah, all the best, mate, and I'll speak to you soon. We've got a community going. This is fantastic. And we had a bite. We didn't mind fishing, but I've got another one ready to go though. On this one, I've got double sand eel out there at the moment, and on this one, we've got a bluey and squid wrap. Hook sitting nice and proud. That's going out in a minute. That's got £25 undulate ray written all over it. Or a strap conger that's going to wrap my rig into knots, and then more knots, and then more knots. So the time now is 9:30, and I was planning on fishing till 10 o'clock, which is when it's high water. But I might go on a little bit longer. Tonight. I'm working from home tomorrow, which means I can get up an hour later and I can work in my pyjamas, which is a proper bonus. If I've got to go into the office, that means I've got to get up earlier and I've got to get all suited and booted. And no one likes that, do they? Yeah, I'm quite lucky. I work half the week because I'm a media developer on a naval base, and I create media and videos and stuff like that for the Navy. Which means I can go into work and do some filming and then do some editing at home. So yeah, my job is filmmaking. Cool. Would love to see a big old ray, wouldn't we ever? My PB from down here, down by the coffee cup, so just a couple of 100 yards that way, is 13.6. That was an undulate. And I've had some good fawnies down here as well. But a couple of years ago now, because I was saying earlier, I'll go through my carp fishing and then I'll go back to sea fishing, and I'll keep alternating between the two, and at the moment I've got a sea fishing bug again. Conger, yeah, do you know what? I've had a few straps from down here off the beach. Around this time of year, there's plenty of congers around at the moment. Will had 3 doing a live stream from Hasler Wall last night, so there's definitely a few of them around. And sometimes they can be the blank savers. But I am quite surprised that nothing's happened at the moment. Yeah, congers are lovely fishes. Some people don't appreciate them because the slimy and the wrapping your rigs up and all that. But I've got nothing against congers at all. I mean, I was just saying to the chat earlier, once I've got a little engine now for my sim. Once I've got a decent life jacket, a ship-to-shore radio, and a couple of other like safety features, I've got to get a better anchor as well. Then I'll be okay to come out in the harbour and do some fishing for the congers. At first, I think I'd like to tag along, find out when someone else is going, and then go out with them, just safety in numbers, rather than be out there all by myself to start with. But that's the idea, is to start doing some of that. Because I think that I'll sit there watching you lot out on your boats, catching congers and smooth hounds and stuff, and it looks really, really exciting. I want some of it. We're all still at the moment. I was saying that it might be, I'm making excuses, I know, but it might be that there's neat tides at the moment, and the fishing just isn't that great off the beach. It's not me being a rubbish angler, I promise. I do know what I'm doing. I think that bluey's got to go out now, don't you? Let me get that bluey out. Mid tides and the water is so clear. It really is. When I was bait digging yesterday, I was probably just at the top of my boots in the shallow channel, walking along looking for flounders, and it was so clear. Check that out! Oh my god. That is incredible. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. It's the smallest undulate I've ever seen. How cute is that? How cool is that? That is the coolest little undulate ray I've ever seen. Little dinner plate one. Mate, that is incredible. Undulate. It's a tiny little undulate. That is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Mate, I'm proper chuffed with that. I'm going to go and get him back in the surf. That is awesome. That's made my session, that has. How cool is that? Oh man. Get on the sand hill. That's amazing. Wow. Proper made up with that. I knew there was a fish on, but I thought maybe it was like a dogfish or something, little conger or something, you know? There's definitely something there. And there's quite a bit of breakers. Might have to take this off Eastney sometime. Yeah, how cool would that be? Just to go out literally straight off of here. Because I've got the wheels on the back of it, same as you've got. So there's nothing stopping me. On a nice calm day. Thanks mate, appreciate that. Side plate, yeah it was a toast plate. Awesome though, what an awesome little thing. I've seen people catch small rays before and I thought, how beautiful is that? Perfection in miniature. And then we've got one on the live. So I can call this ray fishing. Oh, that's so cool. And now we've got our blue and squid wrap going out. Dangerous now, dangerous. She's really danger. I had like 10 between us next time. It's down bright a month or so ago. Yeah. Oh, was that the one I watched? I don't know if it was a month ago. There was one not long ago down West Sussex way, where you were fishing down there, and you had quite a few rays. That might have been the session, because I was there thinking, wow, he's got another one. He's got another one. Proper cool. Right, I'm gonna go and cast this out. So, fish count, 1 bream, 1 undulate ray. I'd have taken that at the beginning. The question is, where's my ring? Weird, isn't it? Sorry, flying in, yeah? Yeah, it was a big one. 8.6. Kayak Dangler was live, wasn't he? That was right. Yeah, the sib fishing's pretty good down that way as well. I know that Fish Hunter UK, the baby ray. Mr. Ray, how big? How big? It was about the size of a plate that you have your toast on. It was fantastic. It was probably, I don't know about weight. What do you reckon, guys? Pound and a half? Pound and a half? It was a cute little one, about sort of yay big. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to go with, yeah, really cute. Baby Ray. I'm going to go with double sand hill again on this one because it's just caught me out. Yeah, that was on the sand hills, mate, yeah. I've just put the bluey and squid wrap out on that rod, just because I had it made up, and it's got gear oozing out of it, and it just looks really, really tempting. So I'm going to give that half an hour, and if nothing comes of it, I'm going to get a double sand eel back out again. Yeah, I was saying that Fish Hunter UK, he goes out in his sib off of Brighton and usually has a few fish out there. He put a video up recently actually saying he's going to take a little bit of a break from it, just not feeling it anymore. Just rather than bluey's good for rays down this way. It's all the oil and stuff that comes out of them. Yeah, he said that it's becoming a bit of a chore now, the fishing and the filming and stuff. He said it's used to be like a kid on Christmas, sort of go to bed and can't sleep because you're so excited about fishing, and now he gets up and it's do I have to go, sort of thing, you know. When it gets like that, I think you've got to turn it in and have a bit of a break, because it's not just that, the content's not going to be, you're going to see it in the content, do you know what I mean, whereas maybe you're just not trying as much. Oh really? No, I've had rays down here on the bluey, but it can be a bit hit and miss. And like I was saying earlier, I think you've got to catch them when they're frozen, because once they thaw out, they're a mess, and they can be really mushy. I heard a jingle. The sky's clearing now. I can see a few stars up there. And there we have a lovely double sand eel bait, all oozing and juicy. I think that's that scratching one. We're going to head off now, enjoy the rest of the fishing, and I hope we catch the mummy right. Yeah, thanks Matt, let's hope so mate, fingers crossed. Thanks for checking in, really appreciate that. Being there on my first live, giving me some support mate, and love this channel, thanks for posting. No worries mate, good to see you online, really good to see you. Yeah, and thanks for the super chat Matt, really appreciate that buddy. I think I'm going to wind in. All good. Have a good one, mate. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to bring that scratching rod in now, because it's had 2 casts now, so freshen the bait up. I'm still only down to my 4th bar out of 5 on the charger, so that's really cool. And that's doing my light and my phone. It's not the anchor that you're saying about. It's an Inui. It's still a 20,000 mode, and it seems to be working really, really well. Right, I'm going to wind this fish in. And we have fish number 3, ladies and gentlemen. We have a beautiful black ring. You've all seen a black ring before, but this one pleases me because that's the 3rd fish of the session. It's been a slow session. I'm not going to make any bones about it. I'm not going to flower it up. It's been a slow session, but the 3 fish that I've caught, I've been absolutely made up with because I've shared it with you guys. It just makes the experience so much nicer sharing it with friends. Proper happy. Right, let's throw him back in the surf. It's funny as well because I was just thinking of putting a ray rig on both rods because the scratching rig, to be fair, has been really quiet, and then we go and catch a fish on it. So I think I'm going to persevere with it for at least another cast. Get some squid out. Ding dang do. Mark, how you doing, buddy? Good to see ya. It's been slow, mate. It's been slow, but we have caught some fish. We've had 2 bream and an undulate. And the undulate was about the size of a tea plate. It's the cutest little thing you've ever seen. What I'll probably do is make a little mini video of the highlights of this session. There's only been 3, but I'll do a little mini video and you can see it. It's so beautiful. Just perfection in miniature. I remember when you had a tiny weeny little thornback ray. I think it was at Town Key, was it? If I remember right. See? Shows you I'm a really good fan, I remember. Yeah, it was like that, mate. It was a tiny little, like, saucer size undulate. Absolutely gorgeous. Are they actually? Yeah. Well, you know, mate, I had one down here with you that time, didn't I? That 13.6, really good one that time. And then I had one over at Gill Kicker, and it was the night that Boris Johnson announced the lockdown. So I think that must have been like 2020 or something like that. And I haven't seen one since. But yeah, proper chuffed, proper chuffed. And the live's going well. We've had people, we've been going for 3 hours. We've had people dipping in and out all night. And it's been great, to be fair. Sharing the session with friends. Batteries are all starting to give up the ghost a little bit. It's nearly high tide now. And I said I'd fish to high tide and maybe a little bit beyond. So I'm going to put this one back out again and then we'll assess the situation. Yeah, I'm glad you popped in, Mark. I was just telling everyone about the wonderful baiting needle that you made for me, which I use for my double sand deals, and most things to be fair. I just find that the double prong stops the bait from spinning when you're trying to wrap it up and then apply it to the hook. Absolutely fantastic bit of kit that I use on every session. So thanks for that, mate. I remember when you gave them to me on the beach that night. Still got all of them, but that one's the one that I use the most. Great bit of kit. Yeah, we've had a few little bites, but nothing really arm wrenching. I was expecting maybe, suppose you still got them. No, I still got them, mate. No, I appreciate them as well. I use them as well. They get used every session. Yeah, so I was expecting maybe a dogfish or a conger or something like that. It's that sort of beach where, you know, if you're scratching around, that's the sort of thing that's going to save the blank. But it's been really, really quiet. Been fishing double sand eel. I've got a bluey and squid wrap out at the moment. We've had just squid. Been fishing with freshly dug blow lug. Tipped off with squid on the other rod, just scratching with size 2s, just to see if we can catch anything that comes along. And it's been a bit of a struggle, to be fair. Free fish in 3 hours. But I'm down the beach. I'm not sat indoors watching that square thing over in the corner of the room. Willing bedtime to come along. I fished Hurst last night and I only had 2 doggies. Yeah, I was just talking to Matt and he was... Sorry about that. We just had a phone call from my mum. Tried to come through. Which is why I think that stream cut out for a little bit then. I think I'm going to get that bluey in. Is that a bite then? No, it's not. It's the waves on the line, just making the rod tip bounce. Yeah, I've enjoyed your company tonight. This has given fishing a whole new meaning. Doing a live stream. I was a little bit worried driving there. I just thought, oh, I wonder how this is going to go. Something I've never done before. I've got to try and chat, but I always find stuff to chat about. I'm full of old waffle, me. And I don't think you're. If you've got that little bit of chat in you, I don't think you're under any pressure to catch a load of fish. I think you can get away with catching a few, as long as you're entertained along the way. And hopefully, we've done that. I'm quite keen to get that double sand eel out there, you know. Because that's what I had that other little